And 3, 2, 1, pills.
Pills, let's do this.
So
Game
Atalito,
one. Oh, go for it. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
no worries. Atalito hailing from Turkey, so the time difference is quite tricky. He did say that he hates it. We were talking about Frank's time zone difference earlier, but yeah, Atalito is playing in the middle of the night, so not so great for him.
Yeah, as one player as it's bedtime for one player, it is morning time for the other. So it's going to be quite
Hmm.
the feat for both these international players here. But much appreciated seeing the love overseas to really have that support for our Dr. Mario Championship channel here. Meanwhile, it looks like Adelito is just stuck with a lot of yellows and blues in his board and creating kind of a valley in
Mm.
both middle two parts of his columns there in his board here, Savage.
Yeah, it's kind of messy, but really he was using all the pills that he had. Flindo has been a lot in a better situation, although honestly now the yellows are coming in for him, and this columns 6 and 7 that he's done, it's really just garbage to drop that down on top of the red as he just did. But yeah, this is John's a little bit behind now because he's going to have to navigate through this yellow so much.
Both these players really. Oh, and I think a little bit of
Oh,
misdraw on
yeah.
Adelita's side there, but it's
Yeah.
early in the run. It's not going to be too damaging for the rest of it there. But as I was saying, a lot of these both these players like having maintaining a little bit of a flat top line here, and it's
Mhm.
just the RNG that was presented to them really made it difficult for them to maintain that flatness that they were ideally looking for there. But it's now a one virus lead. But Adelita dropping everything down and going to be out at a 141.
Oh, yeah,
Very
I
nice.
don't think it actually was a misdrop after all, or if it was, he managed to navigate that really well because it was able to cascade down. Now, Adelito already starting off telegraphing some plans for this fat log.
Yes,
Awesome.
amazing, and he made it into a drop with it. No garbage was remaining. He really just made it as
Mhm.
efficient as possible here. He's taking charges level 11, and Flindo is just looking like yellows all day, just
Mhm.
to be joining him very shortly.
Yeah, and that horizontal that he just had with that first yellow was a very efficient way to go. Looks like he's building another horizontal, and this double yellow exactly what Flindo needs to get out at a 219. But Adelito really far ahead here, already half a level away, but running out of red. So that's gonna be a pain point. He's gonna have to work on that. And this double red blitz ending just in time.
Yeah, most definitely. And given the fact that Flindo didn't really have a lot of options, he was just remaining with the yellows. It was very wise of him to try and create the shapes for one fewer pill half to really advance that board here. So, given the fact that he was able to manufacture a sweet tea that probably ultimately saved him a couple seconds in his run here to still be in a fight here. So, it was really great to see that here. But meanwhile, it's looking like a 18 virus game between these two players.
Hmm. Yeah, and I mean, narrowing it down just a little bit is Flindo, but look at all the blue on this top line. He was making pretty quick work of the beginning of the level and, making some good horizontal plays. Notice him dropping this. I'm wondering if he's going to be able to do these yellows and blues horizontally, or if there's going to be some other play. But Adelito already out of level 11 at a 327. Blistering time.
Yeah, he's just torching through this level here. And it seems to me like whatever he had, if he had anything into the first part of the level, he's absolutely shaking it off there. Meanwhile, it looks like Flindo is just getting everything he needs to really kind of chip away at the board here, but um, unsure if he's going to go with the horizontal blues on the top here. I don't think
Hmm.
that's a smart call just because everything's so clustered at the bottom with a bunch of yellows in succession.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think probably going vertically, I mean, it seems slow. We don't love to do it, but it's wow. Sorry. I was looking at both players at the same time. Adelito just had a monster combo there. Oh my goodness. Now, he's dealing with a lot of yellow, but luckily it's coming right now. And so while Flindo is working on this end game that's with a nice combo, horizontal vertical to horizontal, Adelito is just crushing this.
And I wish I was able to witness that. I was so focused on
Mm.
Flindo's disarray of the board here with given to pill sequencing that I witnessed the magnificence that Adelito was able to put together here. But it's looking like he's got a couple of reds to get out of it. Just needs a couple more, and he's going to be joining Adelito into level 12 at a. Don't do this, Doc. Don't do this. Doc, you killing me. 451.
But Atalito has opened up this lead so much bigger than it was at the beginning of the last level. So we'll see if Flindo is able to gain any ground. Atalito with a nice combo here, vertical to horizontal on the bottom, is going to tuck this red. It looks like yellow would be the last thing to go. Because of the drop time, and yes, it is. He's going to be out at a 516 as Flindo gets started with a nice horizontal on his level 12.
Yeah, Adelito could have taken the yellow earlier, but opted not to. And the reason why he didn't take that is it would have blocked off his potential red clear to get everything in there. So he was very smart to look at and a quick micro adjust from Adelito to make sure he
Hmm.
didn't mess up the works that he had with that drop red. But he is just absolutely flying through this level 13 at about 38 viruses to go.
Yeah, and Flindo had a really nice sweet tea down the center of the board, really well thought out and not dropping any garbage down. Looks like he has a setup with this blue in column one to drop down to the reds horizontally. So he is making really good advanced plays, but he is just pretty far behind Adelito at the moment. Does manage to fire off that combo, but Adelito is just so far ahead.
Yeah, he was holding off on a blue red very efficiently over there, and he had to fire it up to advance the board. Just the blue red wasn't coming in his favor there, but nothing too troublesome as he is chopping everything down. Sweet yellow cross on Flindo's side is going to open it up
Hmm.
there, and he should be. He's got a good clear pathway to the rest of his level here, Savage.
Hmm. Adelito both tucking underneath those two columns, one and two, and moving on top, depending on what pill he gets. Finally, he gets that double vertical there with the blue yellow. Now, blue is going to be a little squished under there in column eight. Eight. I got numbers. And so he's just going to have to take down eight vertically. I think he did not want to put that double yellow there on column one. Sometimes it looks like a little bit of pill blindness. I know when I play a lot, sometimes doubles look like the wrong color to me. So I'm not sure if that's what happened, but it's all cleared up.
It definitely could be a case of that. It's one of those things where you're kind of. I know I'm very guilty of having tunnel vision myself, and it might have been a case of that. But luckily, he was able to. It didn't completely impede his planning. Adley was going to be out at 723, but yeah, it was one of those things where he may have had it, and he kind of hiccuped for a second, and he was able to, not play it in a way he wanted to. But it didn't matter too much at the end there, since he was able to still be very flexible with his plays and his decision making.
Yeah, and the thing is, Flindo, I felt this way in my match against Frank earlier that you just can't compete with hot time strats. Adelito's time currently fifth on the leaderboard for 10 to 13. So pretty outstanding. And
Wow.
GG's to both players. Yeah,
GG's
I
to
mean,
both players. And we have a raid from Break MG. Thank you very much for tuning into the Dr. Mario Championship channel. This is a treat for you guys to join us in, so appreciate the love.
yeah, thank you so much. Welcome to our semifinals of our monthly tournament. We are about to start game two, best out of five. So when we have a ready from Flindo, we'll be counting down. We got readies from both players.
Readies from both players there, Aurora and Dura, ready to swing at each other here. And looks like we're going to get a countdown from the DrMC bot. Three, two, one, and pills. Let's do it.
Pills! All right. Oh, I love the way that that started for Adelito with the double yellow there. You just love to see it, and a nice double red for those horizontals. Now he is going to run out of red, I think, in pretty short order, but it looks like he's making plans for that garbage in column three to actually drop down into this big column two that has a lot of yellow going on.
Yeah, and he ended up taking that red triple, I believe it was red triple, red double, horizontally across the board there. So he's looking really deep in this level to figure out where he can place these non-blue and non-yellow pills, which is basically his entire top line. I was a little worried that that was the problem he's going to be facing, and the doctor unfortunately is just not providing him with what he needs at this moment.
But speaking of providing with what people need, Flindo's been getting excellent pills so far on this level. and really tearing it down, opening up a little bit of a lead and opening up that beautiful cross there. Did leave a little bit of garbage, but not a big deal because he's able to take that red in row 2 horizontally and then make it into a combo. Doesn't opt for that, but it was an option, so not a big deal for that garbage to fall that way.
Yeah, he had it where he could have dropped it down, and the blue wouldn't have really mattered too much there. So I think again, and given in the heat of the moment, you're making snap decisions. These players are thinking as quickly as they can and as efficiently as they can. So not that big of a thing. It didn't impact or gum up at the rest of his board here, but he's only going to need a couple reds and blues to be out of here. But yeah, he's cruising through his
Mm.
all 10 here.
Oh, nice holdout for the double blue. I'm glad he did not get punished by RNG. Flindo out at a 138, Atalito out at a 141. So a really close game. I'm liking the starts of both of these boards, Swang.
Yeah, they both these players just cruising through his levels here. Adley with a nice
Woo!
drop down with horizontal. He's left with a lot of blues and reds, so yellows are going to be used
hmm
strategically for him. Perhaps he's going to make us. No, he ended up not doing a sweet tea with that. He kind of did a quick maneuver and drifted those pills around um, all around there. But yeah, he's just needing a lot of blues now to kind of advance his board still here, Savage.
hmm But really nice horizontal from Atalito just now. Now, Flindo's got a little bit of a sloped board. Notice that right side is much higher than the left, but look at these doubles that Flindo has the opportunity to take care of. Now, most of them are red yellow, but if he gets the right RNG, all of this is going to fly right off the board. So let's hope for some red. Yeah,
Wow, yeah, and as you were
excellent.
saying that, yeah, that was great there. I was looking at Adelito's board. He just needs so much blue. It's a
Yeah.
dreadful sight to see. But he had a moment, he had a setup where he wasn't getting the blue pills, stacked up for some future clears, and he had to get some surgical precision to really make sure he wasn't going to misdrop in the middle of the board here. But he did it absolutely well. But yeah, he just needs more blues to get out of this here, Savage.
Yeah, speaking of blues, I wasn't necessarily agreeing with some of the moves that Flindo was making on his blues, but now that is all cleared up and ready to go. He's going to be making a play for those reds horizontally there, and he gets it, and he just needs a couple of reds, and he will be out of this level. Now, of course, he's got to get them. And out at a 327. Really nice pace so far from Flindo as Adelito continues to work on these columns on the far left and the far right, which is not the place that you want to be, but his setups are great.
Yeah, he was having a potential for a possible blue-red lightning bolt. The pill just wasn't coming, so he said, "You know what? I need to advance the board with some blues," and he opted to do that there. But yeah, I mean, both these players, given the circumstances, are just cruising through these levels here. Adley with one red out of the 355. Looks a little flustered with that level, just with the
hmm
RNG, but nothing he can't overcome.
hmm And Flindo has opened up about a 10 virus lead and been playing the beginning of this level excellently. It's just been so comfortable and easy and nothing that's requiring him to go crazy with finding places for nutso garbage. And so now you saw him thinking a little bit about where to start placing those. Does have garbage on columns 5 and 6, but he's off to a great start here, Swan.
Yeah, Flinto's been playing a very clean game for this second match between the two. I don't think it was I don't recall it being as clean as it was game one, but he is managing his garbage very efficiently, dropping things down, using his pills very effectively, and try not to waste as much as we would see in some of his other matches here. But he is down to his final 15 viruses and just again cruising through his level, making short work of it.
Yeah, and Adelito's really working to catch up here. Has is making great drop plays, and basically every single pill half that he has gotten, he has been able to use and use very, very well. Looks like he's telegraphing a horizontal in row 3 to drop those yellows up on top. Now, of course, he needs to build that platform in order to do so. He's got time to do that because he's got plenty of options. But a double blue would be great for him right now as Flindo heads out of level 13 at about a 526.
Yeah, Flinda was putting all the swaggy moves together. He's still channeling his fat log t-shirt from yesterday. He had a fat log
hmm
in the middle of his board, red into a sweet tea. I mean, he's putting all the moves together, and it's like we're seeing almost like a sense of really awesome geometry being put together here, folks. It's really fantastic to see here.
Oh, definitely. Atalito starting to work on his level 13. And I think he's looking to have some sort of a horizontal, yes, really nice L from Atalito. Those are the kinds of moves that you thought, okay, is that a misdrop? But definitely not telegraphing that that was what he wanted to do with that horizontal drop down.
Yeah, he has a little bit of garbage on that third column and the two blues. Nothing that's messing up what his plans are, but he was able to drop a bunch of stuff down and really make that turn. Eventually he's going to turn everything into gold, is what we'll see here. Drops it all down, clears it up, and he has actually shortened the gap to about 6 viruses here, Savage.
Mm-hmm. But a beautiful combo from Flindo to just take a lot of the bulk out of the center of that board. Now he does have some garbage that's there in blue, and he did just block off the possibility to take those blues out horizontally to drop down onto the yellow, but still working really well here and holding on and actually managing to open up a tiny bit of a lead again, a little bit more of that, and some fat log potential on the bottom there, Swang.
Yeah, totally here. I mean, his end game again is looking very clear. This is the story that this is the narrative that Flindo has been following, just keeping a nice clean game here. Potential for a red fat log if he chooses. It
Ooh, red fat
comes
log,
and it
yes!
arrives. Oh my god, it was amazing. It
Okay.
never happens, folks. We never see this like yellow redness that comes, and it provided. Holy moly, keep me in a booth. Commentator's blessing. Let's go. But he's down to
Let's
his
go.
final two.
Just needs a couple more yellows and he'll be out. Meanwhile, Atalito working on that end game. The yellow in row 1 is going to be the most difficult point, but Flindo with a 739.
A fantastic time. He steals that game away from Atalito, who just couldn't really put anything together there, unfortunately, just given the RNG. But wow, what an amazing second game here. This is what we're here to see here, folks.
Yeah, and that's I think that's in the top 15 times. I think that's 11th now, maybe with what Atalito just put up. But that is awesome. You can see Flindo
Lindo
taking his
taking his
pulse, maybe.
pulse. Absolutely. His pulse might be 739. My God, he was cruising through this here. Fantastic there. I mean, if we got to get that on replay for sure. That was amazing. Great playing from both players here. It was a sight to see. Woo!
Yeah, very, very exciting. And I think we're seeing a little bit of a new Flindo. I think in earlier months, he might have been pretty shook, as the youth say, about losing to Atalito like that in the first game. But he is really staying cool and collected, and he is ready. I think his pace has lowered a little bit, hydrated. And
Stay
Atalito,
hydrated. Yeah.
Atalito has a ready as well. Welcome, Kilometers the Average, with the first time chat. All right. And we got our countdown 3, 2, 1. Pills.
Pills. Let's do this. Game 3 on the way here between these two players.
All right. Interesting stuff here. A lot of red for Flindo. But he is tucking down and using the yellow wherever he can. Nicely done.
Yeah, these boards are looking fairly similar in a sense that there's a lot of what I mean by not what I mean by symmetries is that there is a lot of places for all the possible pill combinations, and it was very good to see them being able to maneuver things. And I think Flindo going with some strategic garbage to open things up there. Oh, oh, I see. He's just trying to chip away at the portion of the board there.
I wasn't exactly sure what that blue red was for Atalito, but it's sort of just holding a space while the blue wasn't exposed, and was able to get it down really easily. I think telegraphing a that blue's horizontally there, and making sure that he will be able to tuck some yellow in between on that column 5. So looking really good there. Lots of options opened up for Atalito. Flindo
Lot
up very high.
Yeah, he's playing a little bit higher than what he would like to be comfortable playing at. Decides to bracket the thing down to clear up to both the blues and reds in column 3s and 4. But luckily, since he is playing on medium, it won't be too damaging to his efforts there. But we're looking at a 10 virus game here, Savage.
And Atalito bringing down that first column just needs to take out the blues on top, and then one more yellow will do it. He gets it. So he's going to be out at a 142. And Swang, we had level sixes in the tournament this month that were were 142. So really nicely done from Atalito. Meanwhile, Flindo just taking care of these last blues. He is going to have to take some drop time there, but the double blue there is going to help, and so now just needs a couple of
Wow.
yellows and a red.
Atalito, as you're saying, Atalito was able to manufacture this monster yellow cross into a red drop, opening his board really
Mm,
up and just really taking charge of his level 11 here. He was creating that and just patiently waiting for his combo to fire off there. Meanwhile, Flindo into level 11, chomping away at all the pills that is on his top line to advance his board here.
and a really nice drop there. He was hesitating on where to put that double red, but I think he made the right decision. And he's got a lot of opportunities for things to do with those yellows. Is he going to go horizontal? No, he goes vertical. He takes the tuck in between the theme shape there. And yeah, he's really tearing down this board, Swung.
Yeah, given the fact that he had a lot of little options. I mean, right now it's again blues and yellows on Flindo's side,
Oof.
but he's been really just severing this level with his decision making. So he's making short work of it, and Adley is just flying through with a monster
Mm.
manufactured L, and whew, man, man.
Basic uh, Basically, when you hear me groan like that, you hear me go like, "Oh." It's usually because there's just a really fantastic play that came down on one of the sides, and that was definitely true from Adelito. Before you started talking there about that, his foresight is amazing. Beautiful L from Flindo into a combo though. He's staying in it.
Yeah, this is looking good for both these players here. He ends up desandwiching stuff on the right for the Blues in order for him to stack those down, dropping everything down. But these players are just staring down at each other, and it's really a close game.
hmm And looks like as soon as Adelito clears out this column 7, which he's eliminated most of the drop time, everything will cascade down and kill the rest of the viruses. But they are basically at a dead heat right
It
now.
is neck and neck. It's a virtual dead heat round. This is really exciting stuff here. Out of a
hmm
404 and a 405, or 404 and a 403, it's a tie game right now. It's a tie game.
Yeah, and Flindo able to take a lot of good stuff off the board horizontally very early. Some of those plays were just amazing for keeping that top line even, and he keeps going with it. He's got the opportunity for the blue horizontally in the center, so he's going to keep that open. And yeah, this is a 4 virus game, keeps changing, but whew,
Yeah,
nice.
everybody's just chomping things down here, both Adelino and Flindo, and they're making short work of these levels here. Um, Looks to me like Flindo has a little, Adelito has a little bit of a compactness on the bottom of his board here, so it looks
hmm
to me like his virus elimination is going to slow down just a touch, but it's going to speed right back up as he sprints towards the finish of this level.
Yeah, definitely. Um, So Flindo's got to take down this highest column, right? And now it's gone. So he does have a bunch of diversity here, a little bit of space for everything, but I think he is going to have to take quite a little bit of couple little drop times here and there to just keep this moving. And Adelito is now firmly in the end game, firmly in the driver's seat, just open up a giant lead now.
As you're mentioning, yeah, Adelito ended up cruising through the rest of it here, and is now firmly going into level 13 at a 544, about 16 viruses ahead of Flindo right now. But Flindo just needs a lot of blues to really advance the board and join
Yeah.
Adelito.
And it's not really happening that much right now, and then column 1 is looking like it's going to be very tough for John to get into it, because especially because he keeps building up that high, so he's going to have to take stuff down horizontally around that to get that moving. So that's giving Adelito a chance to really move forward and open up that lead even more with a beautiful fat log, just the tiniest bit of garbage.
Yeah, this end game from Flindo is looking kind of troublesome to maneuver around here. The red in column one is just
Mhm.
dependent on a double red, and my main concern is really that blue at the very bottom of his board here. That's going to be quite the paying point to get out of here.
Mhm. Yeah, and I mean that red is fine there with the horizontal, but he's going to have to use more red in order to get this down. So that's going to take a little bit of time. And Adelito is just keeps opening up space. And he's with 13 viruses left to go. A nice combo down the side of the board. And yeah, I'm curious to see how he takes all of these shapes because he's got a lot of doubles that he can work with. As John out at a 704.
John turning the frown upside down as he enters it. He knows he wasn't that fantastic of a level, but he knows it's nothing that is going to um, set the tone for the rest of this series here. It's looking like he is making short work, dropping everything down, and is
Mm.
accelerating and sprinting towards that finish line here.
Yeah, Atalito with a great drop on top so that he can get that red horizontally. Now he was really not wanting to take any drop time with that yellow there on column one. So now I think he's a little more comfortable. But yeah, he's got the open path. This double blue, exactly what he needs to be out at a 749.
Whew, ups and downs of that level here, but that was definitely quite the roller coaster set of levels for both these players here. But Adelito getting out of 748, and John made quick work of this level 13, but it
Yeah.
just wasn't enough. I mean that 12 had some really, um, as we say, typical NES RNG with it, so it was unfortunate.
Those are the times that you might have some choice words that are not necessarily appropriate for stream, you know?
Yeah, I would definitely say it's either that or slam that reset button. It's one of those two things. But yeah, I mean, it's just it's not a testament to how John is playing. Just that level was not the greatest, unfortunately. It's just doctor, doctor.
But I don't know, this just seems to be a new gear for Flindo. I'm seeing him look so composed, so calm, still having fun. Yeah, this is a really fun version of him to watch.
You said John was composed.
I don't know. I mean, like
I'm saying that because he does music, so I figured that was a good pun on your end.
oh,
Ah, see,
yeah.
so he is calm and composed, I suppose. So
Yeah, well, I meant that pun. Yeah,
there you go, there you
yeah,
go.
yep. Yeah, that was on my script ahead of time.
Totally.
Flindo out at a 919.
919 into there.
Yep.
Then looking over.
Come for the Dr. Mario, stay for the puns, or
That's
vice
it.
versa, whatever you're feeling. All right, so we are sending this to a game four. I wonder if John can come back and take another blow off of Adelito and then maybe a decider. I would like that.
It's looking good there. Both these players are shaking their nerves out, getting everything ready, staying hydrated. We have a ready from Flindo. And we have a ready from Adelito.
All right, let's go. Three, two, one.
Pills!
Pills.
Let's rock and roll here. Game four between these two players, and it begins now.
All right, I think we're gonna see some music puns in the chat. Let's drop them. Um, so Adelito looking like he's interested in doing something with those double blues up top, maybe a horizontal there, and he's got the opportunity, especially if he gets a double blue. Meanwhile, Flindo doing the same thing, dropping down with a nice vertical to horizontal and dropping some garbage down. That is very nice and strategic.
Flindo didn't have any opportunity for the yellows and reds, and that was literally the only pill that would not help to advance his board. And so he was kind of stuck in between two places where he was trying to figure out if he should just stack it and just continually burn the garbage or set up for a future clear. He kind of opted between both of them in order for him to make the most of that situation. And he is now, even given that fact, he's actually taking a very slight lead against Adelito.
Yeah, because Adelito is still working on this solve at the top of the board with those blues. And, that's an awesome amount of patience. Finally, he gets the double blue that takes it down all the way. But yeah, that was a long time to wait. I think I would have given up. I would have abandoned ship a little bit ago, but it's paying off for him now.
Yeah, he was looking for that here, trying to get there. Looks like he has some more setups ready to fire off with that yellow drop into the blues. Oh, I like what he does with that blue yellow over there, Savage. He looks like he's in future
Mm.
clear it down and is really looking deep into that level with that yellow blue that he set down there, which looked like garbage, but it certainly was not.
Yeah, and he's got another opportunity for a fat log there. Keeping this game very, very close. Nice drop from Flindo. Um, and just needs a bunch of red to clear out that right hand side. But really nice drop horizontally with the blue there in row one so that he can tuck stuff underneath. That's going to make stuff go a lot more quickly.
And Atalito out at a 142 yet again. He is making there with a drop T into another combo, just playing efficiently. It looks like his high risk, high reward plays are certainly paying off with this with his gameplay here, Savage.
And Flindo out at a 206. And this blue yellow going to be great for Atalito, just taking a bunch of stuff off the board. Although columns 6, 7, and 8 were all red just a second ago, and so that was a little bit tricky. But looks like a little more diversity opening up here.
It's looking good for both these players here, considering the fact that it's a little bit of a 20 second difference between these two, but it looks like Flindo's going to be chipping away, chomping away at this with his reds and yellows, dropping everything down, and kind of has everything kind of scattered in the center of his board here. I wonder what he's going to do to chip away at the reds there, Savage.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's all I can really do is just try to take these things down vertically. I mean, when you have a spire like that, being able to build up maybe something like a platform, it's just a lot tougher when you're up that high. But nice tea there from Flindo. Meanwhile, Adelito taking care of this end game. He's got possibilities for this yellow horizontally. And yep, he was planning this all along, dropping down the red onto the yellow out at a 319.
He was definitely looking at that next pill box to make sure that he didn't want to waste any seconds of that. I don't think Adelito, much like a lot of us, he definitely does not like taking that unnecessary fall time when needed, and he was just looking to see what is the best course of action there. So a lot of flexibility in his play, and going into this level and making short work of his level 12.
hmm I'm curious to see what Adelito does with the top of this board because I mean, again, it looks like he would really like a horizontal with those reds, and I think he's gonna probably hold out for that. Although he clears out the garbage that was on top that would have dropped down onto the yellow, so it seems like different plans gonna happen. But a nice L from Adelito.
Flindo out at a 404, time not found, but it looks like Adley with a great fat log red. He had it set up, and I wasn't sure what his gameplay was with that, but he, again, proves me wrong with that sort of setup that he did in the middle of his board there.
hmm Now he's got a lot of yellow going on this board, both in pill halves left behind and in viruses. Um, so we'll see how that goes. Meanwhile, Flindo at that beginning of the stage where just like, oh, it's so nice. All of these things are flying off the board, but he's got to make sure that he keeps that top line a little more even than he has in previous levels.
He's keeping his color diversity relatively flexible as well, so that's a good thing. But he's presented with a little bit of a traffic light situation in his column too. So unfortunately, the only thing he could really do is either attack it horizontally or drop everything and drill everything down. Which at this point in the game, drilling is a little bit as efficient as it is. It is a time waster to do that, but it's might have been the only option he had there. But he's making quick work of it, and now is presented the option of just needing a lot of reds to further his board placement.
hmm Adelito out at a 522 of level 12. Um, Yeah, I mean, watching Adelito, he just has so much patience in terms of just, okay, I see that there might be an obvious play for this pill, but it's not exactly what I want. And so I'm going to wait. And it always pays off. So really nicely done from Adelito here.
Yeah, he's doing quick work of his, just chomping everything down. And well, now he has blue access. I was going to say his blue was going to be used as a strategic set of garbage, but he ended up being able to filter out the use of garbage with his pills, and is very, very efficient with what is considered garbage and what is considered a possibility for a future clear here. And he is making quick work of his level 13.
Definitely, and he's got that nice horizontal there, and making the horizontal happen for those yellows. Dropping down a blue will do it, and there
Big
he
drop
goes.
combo. Very nice.
Giant
Another
cross,
and a
yeah.
3T to boot. Amazing work there.
Meanwhile, Flindo working on these blues, he did have the opportunity to take all of them out at the same time, but I think he's going for a very long horizontal there, and he's out at a 633.
Yeah, he had a situation where if he decided to sweet tea the blues earlier, he would have blocked off the horizontal blue all the way jammed over to the bottom right side of his screen. So I think he
hmm
prioritizes pill sequencing correctly in that sense there. So it was good to see that he didn't jump, he didn't commit to a plan sooner than what he thought of.
Yeah, that's a great point. Atalito at 11 viruses to Flindo's 40, well, at the time, 43. It's often hard to commentate when it just everything changes in seconds. But yeah, Atalito, as soon as he gets a blue going, he will drop down on top of those yellows. Nice, takes 4 viruses off the board. Sorry, 3 rather, I can count, and is out at a 724. Amazing time set by both of these players in this block. He will be moving on to the finals.
Wow, that was just fantastic gameplay from both these players here. Just seeing it there, Fundo realizing that the match is over, but an extremely amazing effort and a great showing for his first semifinal debut.
Yeah, excellent, excellent, excellent.